I like how into the like mental side of things you are too. Not just the physical like performance or like looking good, the aesthetics. It's like it seems like most of it's rooted in just like how do you build mental strength? How do you use fitness to make yourself feel better, meditate, that kind of stuff. I like that. Is there anything that like sparked that you think that was like, okay, I think I like the mental side of things a little bit more. Like what do you think draws you to that?
Well, kind of like I touched upon before, it's like when I look back at when I looked the best, I felt the worst. And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy, right? And that's why I'm so passionate about like helping people find a healthy relationship with food and with exercise and with in themselves to learn to love their body. So I think the journey I talked about, I think like it's so funny, like life puts things in your way and you wonder why they're here. And you thank God for unanswered prayers, or you like are appreciative for just things that life throws at you and you're not sure why it happens at the moment, but then in the future you're like, oh, this has made me so much stronger. So I think a lot of the things I've gone through has been able to strengthen my mind with the scoliosis, with eating, all the things that like now I'm able to have this really strong mindset. David Goggins, I was listening to a podcast on Huberman interviewed him, and he said it was a really cool episode. He was like, people tell me I'm lucky that I was born with a strong mindset. He goes, I'm not lucky. I created this mindset. I built this mindset. So I always tell people, like, don't think you were born weak or born with, like, no, you can recreate your mindset every single day. So I think I could feel sorry for myself, or I can use the things that have happened to me in life to strengthen my mindset every day. And then again, like I use exercise as a coping mechanism now in a healthy way of if I have a really hard day, like running is my number one outlet. Like if I am stressed, even with my little tear, I'm like, I'll just go on a little run and soon I could go on my long runs again. But it's like the best coping mechanism, because when you sprint and you think of like what you're trying to shed mentally when you run, you talk about this too. Like you always say like running's for your mind, strength training's more for your body. I feel the same way. Yeah. And then I also got in a really bad car accident a couple of years ago. So like the mindset and exercise after like get me out of the whole trauma with it and everything too. So I think this like mental side of things, when you strengthen it in one area of your life, you can really be able to have it impacted in your other sectors as well.
I love that.
Yeah.
And that David Goggins episode with Huberman, they talk about Huberman's giving more of like a scientific take on it. Goggins like, I don't give a shit.
Like, I don't care.
Yeah. He's like, I live this. Like, I know what it's like. But he's talking about how when you do hard things, like there's a part, I can't remember what it's called. There's a part of your brain that literally grows. Like it gets bigger.
Yes.
Based on the more difficult things are.
Yeah.
Which is so interesting. And I remember him saying it, that that baseline is always going up and up and up, which I think is why people get so addicted to running or fitness, is because like you get a little taste of that like wherever part of that brain is, it grows, but then you need that stimulus to keep it like happy, like keep it where it's at. And that's why I think I end up, running like 100 miles or something crazy.
Yeah. It's that that was like a really cool piece of it too. It's crazy, but I think a lot of people are just complacent. They don't care to grow their mindset. And it's like, I think I was talking about this with my friend the other day, and I think I've outgrown a lot of friendships, and not in a bad way, just in like a way of, I feel like I'm continuously trying to improve myself and grow. And like you said, like you challenge your mindset and like keep pushing yourself and putting yourself in areas that you're going to be able to strengthen your mind. And I think like when you get so tapped into wanting to grow in life and grow your mind, and I think sometimes you can maybe lose people along the way, which is not necessarily a bad thing either, but it's just a different life experience.
Right. I love that. This is good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you could just keep going on.
So kind of speaking of that, like the why side of things,
Yeah.
you had a quote on one of your recent Instagram posts, and it said, if you do it for anyone else other than yourself, it's not going to happen. You have to ask yourself why. Emily, what is your why? Like, why do you want to grow your mindset? Why do you want to like be healthy and feel good and continue to like do challenging things, and like, why? Because it's easier to not do those things.
It's easier to not. I think, so good. I think I think that I have yet to meet some like insane athlete that has like that's not like that is not expressing their why through running or through whatever it is. Like they have some sort of a, and I think trauma could be like a small thing, it could be a big thing, right? So I think that everyone has like their own thing of their impetus to run and push themselves farther together. little tap in there. But
not sponsored
or anything. I think my why is, I think a lot of the things I touched up upon, but I think it's like a continuous journey of learning to like love yourself and appreciate your body and your mind. And I think my why is just, I think it's like appreciation for pushing myself, but it's also the feeling of like, if I can do this, or I think a lot of times like those really hard moments in life with the eating disorder, like those unhealthy relationships of kind of like, maybe I went through a hard week now and you think you get over it. And then by like tapping into your why of I'm bigger than this, my mindset's stronger than this, I can get through this really hard moment in my life. It's you tap back into those really like traumatic experiences in the past that allow you to push for your why of like, this is why I'm doing it, is because I want to be happy. I want to feel strong. So I think there's like so many different reasons of your why, but I think a lot of it's kind of a feeling.
Dang, that's powerful.
Yeah.
I love that.
There's so much in that. I think like I'm so fascinated by people's whys because this can translate into like so many other areas. And yeah, you can do hard things.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, it's I've always thought like we only have one shot at life as far as we know. So like why not make the most of it?
Well, yeah. And I think like when I got into this really bad car accident a couple years ago, I got hit by an 18-wheeler. Crazy.
Jeez.
And grateful to be alive. But like that's another appreciation thing of I could feel sorry for myself, or I could be like, I'm so grateful. Like I can run. Like I have my limbs. It was, so I think people need to stop feeling so sorry for themselves and like get up and like be stronger than your mind.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the complacency and just being comfortable all the time. I mean, like it's a human trait to want to try and be comfortable.
Yes. And I think that goes for friendships, that goes for dating. It's like, do you want to be around complacent people? I don't.
No. Complacent people don't do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, like all the people that change the world and make the world a better place, they're not complacent. They're the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like surrounding yourself with those types of people is just, it's not going to do anything good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Dang. We're getting some good wisdom here.
Ooh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah. It's, yeah. I like to think of our bodies as these like just vehicles as we move through life. It's like you only get one body. So why would you not try and optimize it? And because some people like, I can sometimes see if they're like, oh, why are you so obsessed with like what you eat? And we're all going to die eventually. We're all going to end up in the same place. But like, yeah, but wouldn't you want to make that experience from point A to point B a little bit more enjoyable? And if you can feel good and like, I don't want to be 80 years old and like in a wheelchair. I want to be able to like go travel and like do stuff and like maximize everything.